Hi there, thank you for joining us for another episode of Total Ramblings. It is Sunday, 12:35 p.m. On the 7th of September 2025, and I can't hear very well, so I went out last night. Yeah, so anyway, went out last night with my boss and a couple of colleagues, Richard and Clinton, and we took Andrew with us, with me, and you went down very well, didn't you? They liked you, I think so anyway. We went to 4 pubs, and then we went to another bar with a live band and lots of people dancing, and I've basically lost part of my hearing. It was very loud, and my ears are still ringing ever so slightly, and unfortunately I was stood up for so long at the bar watching the band, watching people dancing and what have you. My back started spasming again, so I had to forego my normal burger, and we didn't have a burger, did we? No. And I just went home. I wanted to sit down. Anyway, I didn't get home till about 1:15. It would have been about an hour later if I'd gone for a burger and given my boss and his friend a lift back to his house. So yeah, I feel a bit guilty for that, but there you go. I did have a physio session yesterday, Saturday, and she says my back is incredibly tight. It should be as supple as my arm, and it's not. It's incredibly tight. Now, the shooting pain down my right leg from the sciatica has eased off, and now it's more of a dull throbbing pain in my back going up to my shoulder blades sometimes. But having stood at the bar for that time last night, it didn't help, and driving home was a bit of a problem because it was about an hour and a half's drive home. So I'm dosed up on painkillers at the moment. I've just shot a Lego video, which is online already, an unboxing of some Lego minifigs. But yeah, anyway, I'm supposed to put the cold gel on the freezy stuff. I asked her whether it should be hot stuff or freezy stuff. She said freezy stuff, so I need to put some of that on to help my back. But also, she said under no circumstances wear a lumbar belt, because your back will get weaker, because obviously you are then relying on the lumbar belt to take the weight. I wasn't planning on buying one anyway, and I don't have one, so just a little tip for you there. Anyway, yeah, so quite a pleasant evening. Alice has been home all weekend, not feeling too well, so I'm going out for my dinner soon, and then I'm going to visit Liz, and Alice is, I think, staying at home all day. She is. Yeah, it's not very well, is she? No. Yeah, that's the plans for the day. As usual, my weekend goes like that. And then it's back to the grindstone tomorrow. A full week this week. I've had 2 short weeks in a row because of bank holiday, and then I took a day off for the car, but a full week this week. So we'll see how that goes. What else is there to say? There's not a lot, is there? No, I'm not going to tell him about that. Well, it's 1:45. I've had to pick up some bits for Liz. I'm going to go on a little bit of a mini rant here. She has an Apple charger, an official Apple charger, and an official Apple USB-C to USB-C charging cable for her iPad. And her iPad's refusing to charge. So naturally, she assumes it's the cable. However, she plugs the same cable into her Kindle and it works. She plugs the same cable into another device and it works. And I've seen this myself with Apple chargers. Now they say don't use third-party chargers because they can be dangerous. Yeah, I get that. And I wouldn't go and buy one off Temu or AliExpress or whatever the frig, or Wish.com. Don't ever buy cheap out on a charger. I have Belkin chargers because they are actually sold in the Apple store, right? But I've noticed with the Apple official chargers, and I'm sorry if I'm shouting a bit much here, but my hearing's out of whack. Sometimes they just go, no, I'm not going to work, I'm not going to charge you. And it's fucking weird. So anyway, I told her, as always, with any Apple product, turn it off, turn it on again. You shouldn't have to, and lo and behold, it works. Why is that? Why does turning a device off and then on suddenly remind it that it's got a fucking battery that needs charging? What's going on? Anyway, I've picked her up a cable. I've got a couple of spare cables, but they're Apple cables, and Apple charging cables are shite. Okay? They are utter shite in quality. It's interesting. Some years ago, Liz used to go through charging cables like crazy on her iPad, and I'd have to spend a fortune to buy new Apple ones. Eventually, I stopped buying Apple ones, and I switched to buying them from the joint account, and it's amazing how much extra care she took with them now that it was us paying for them and not just me. She used to just yank them out by the cable. You don't do that. And it's funny how as soon as I said, well, I can't afford to keep doing this, I'm going to have to start doing it from the joint account, suddenly people were being extra careful with their cables and pulling them out by the chargy bit and not from the cable itself. Anyway, I've just picked up a new cable for Liz, although she says her iPad is now charging, but whatever, new cable probably won't hurt, but not an Apple one. The Apple ones, I'm pretty certain, have a built-in obsolescence. And given the amount you pay for them, it's outrageous. So, I'm picking that up on the way. I've just observed a near accident from an Audi driver. Shocker.
Of course.
Right, Audi drivers. This particular... So basically, if you approach a roundabout, even if you're not signalling, which you should be, but even if you're not signalling, you should position yourself on the road and make it abundantly clear to other road users which direction you are going in. If you're going straight on, admittedly, you can't signal until you're about to leave the roundabout. But if you're going straight on, you should position yourself in a situation where it's pretty obvious that you want to go straight on. If you're turning left, you should signal left. If you're turning right, you should signal right. And of course, as you approach the penultimate exit, you should start to signal left that you are wanting to leave the roundabout. Audi drivers don't understand this. Audi drivers, first of all, Audi cars appear to consider indicators as optional, and it's beyond the cliche. I swear people are playing up to the cliche. Audi drivers do not use their indicators. Anyway, today, this Audi driver not signalling, and you might think, okay, well that's where you were wrong. But the problem is Audi drivers are so shit that you've got to assume that they're not going to signal. Positioned herself at a roundabout where she was clearly wanting to go left. The car was pointing left. She wasn't signalling, but that's not unusual for an Audi. And for an Audi driver, you have to use some degree of extrasensory perception. So the car next to me was about to pull out when the Audi suddenly decided it wanted to go ahead. Having been pointing left and having clearly indicated by its positioning on the road that it wanted to go left, then pulled forward, and there was nearly an accident. Now I call that throwing a dummy. Now there's a word in rugby. If you're running with the ball and you want to go, let's say you want to go right, but you've got a guy barreling in towards you or behind you to tackle you, right? So what you do is you throw a dummy. You basically pretend to bob left, and he goes, and he changes his intercept course to intercept you on the left, and then you go right. And you go, I've thrown you a dummy. Basically, you've now put him off trajectory and you're able to carry on. And I've seen this in high streets. Sometimes, if you've got somebody approaching you and you're walking forwards and they're all all over the place because they're deliberately trying to fuck you up, right? If you throw a dummy, if you look as like you're going to head left, they'll change course and then you can get around them. I've been using this technique for decades, but sometimes dickhead drivers will do it. And this Audi driver clearly positioned herself to be turning left at this roundabout, tricking the car in front of her to pull out, and then going, no, I want. And it's fucking pricks like this that cause accidents. It's like another thing that's bugging me. You're driving along a road, I'm in the inside lane where I should be, right, because I'm not overtaking, and there'll be a car literally hovering in my blind spot behind me. Now I know it's there because I've kind of got like a bit of a sixth sense. Also, I pay attention on the road, but I know it's there. Even in an individual context, when I'm walking down the road, I get freaked out if somebody is walking too close to me, and I will often just stop and force them to go around me. Did that once in Lanzarote. Liz and I were walking along the seafront, and there was this woman behind me so close that if she was a man, she could have fucked me up the arse, right? So close. And I stopped and she nearly bumped into me, and I'm convinced she was a pickpocket because I think she was so intent on looking at my back pocket to see what she could steal that I stopped and she literally nearly bumped into me. And I've kind of almost got like a sixth sense when people are too close to me, and it freaks me out, and I will just stop. I will just stop and I will let them go past. And it's kind of the same with cars. Even if you're not paying attention on the mirrors, which you should be, I kind of know when there's a car in my blind spot just hovering there, and they seem to be deliberately hovering in the place where you can't see them, as if they're going, I'm going to cause an accident, I'm a dickhead. There's so many dickhead drivers, Audi drivers who don't indicate, people who throw dummies at roundabouts, and then fucking people who sit in the blind spot just so that you're hoping that you're going to come out and hit them. What's going wrong? Right, here we are. It's 10 to 7, and I'm missing a lunar eclipse.
Oh.
By the time I get home, it'll be finished.
We'll stop halfway.
I don't have my telescope in the car.
Oh.
Never
Can you
mind.
only see it from the telescope?
Well, that's what I would want to get photos with.
Oh.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Say hello to the boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls.
Right, without being an arsehole like you were the last time we did this, tell the boys and girls what you've been doing.
Doesn't change a lot. Physio. Still can't do hydro.
No, why that?
Because I'm still on oxygen. Sometimes during the day. And my sats go up and down from 70 to 90.
Have you tried not having your sats go up and down?
It's not my choice.
Well, that's what my mum says to me when I say I suffer from depression. Have I tried not being depressed? Have you tried your sats not going up and down?
It's not my decision.
Precisely.
They go up and down.
Exactly.
I don't have a choice.
So because you're on oxygen, you can't go in the pool.
No, because it might not be safe. And then I might drown.
What else have you been up to?
Well, you visited me. My mum and Anthony visited me. I bought some things on Amazon.
You bought me some stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Thank you.
I'm nice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think I've done anything else. Watched a few films.
It's noisy out there, even with the door closed.
It's very noisy today.
Do you think they're having a competition?
Dunno.
You want to watch Superman, don't you?
Possibly.
You need to buy it then, don't you?
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
If you're going to buy it, I would prefer you bought it on Apple, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Because that's where most of my films are, the ones that I've bought.
Well, that's what I was asking.
But there are some on Amazon because Alice buys on Amazon. So now,
Prime.
yeah. So, do what you want, really.
I do it on Apple. But I did, that was right. I didn't know whether you'd bought it somewhere
No,
or whether
I'm
you were going to.
not fussed.
Okay.
Alice, has she seen it?
Oh, okay.
Another weekend over. Your mum's going on holiday soon.
Yeah. I watched a film the other day. I can't remember what it was now. And I started season 2 of Poker Face.
I watched the first one. It was mad.
She gets shot every time.
Yeah, but there's like 5 people the same.
Yeah,
It was insane, that
that's the one I
episode.
watched.
Yeah.
That's because they had sex duplicates.
How are you watching that?
Prime, I think.
Because I bought it on Prime.
I know, when you could have got it free through Sky.
Okay, I might watch another one tonight then. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get home.
I tend to watch them while I eat lunch. Unless I'm watching a film. I can't even remember what the film was that I watched the other day. Nope, gone. Completely gone.
Okay. Anything else to say?
No, I have watched Wicked.
Hmm?
I have watched Wicked.
What was that like?
It was alright. Nothing so special
You
after
don't-
all the hype.
You don't want the Lego Wicked sets then?
No, I
They don't look very good.
don't. Oh, what did you think about that racing game for Anthony?
Maybe,
Only about 15 quid.
if you like.
And just to go, that you can unwrap, and go, oh,
And not look at.
and then go next.
He's got an Ninjago ship that I built about 10 years
I
ago
know.
that's massive,
I know,
that lives in the office.
I know,
And I built it, and he
I
looked
know.
at it once and he's never touched it.
no,
It took me hours to build that.
he's not really into Lego, is he?
No, so I wouldn't bother.
It was racing. He built the car and raced them. Maybe not then. Just got to buy him little thing.
Right. Anything else to say?
I don't think so. I don't do an awful lot. Doing quite a bit of reading. But another book that I've got to read. Over there. Haven't started that yet. EastEnders is good at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's on today's newspaper headlines.
Was it? Why?
Someone's leaving.
Jamie Borthwick. Yeah, he said some bad things, apparently. And now they've terminated his contract. I like him. The trouble is with the BBC at the moment, if you do one mistake, they've got to get rid of you because of Hugh Edwards. And everything.
Yep.
So anything you do wrong, you get the sack.
And Bold Man.
Greg Wallace.
That's him.
See, I quite like Greg Wallace. Right, you write to Andrew if you want to complain about that.
About what?
The fact that I like Greg Wallace.
Yeah, she also likes Piers Moron, but, you know,
Yeah, I don't mind him either.
She's a very bad judge of character, which is
Obviously.
not, she's not good because she married me.
24 years, darling.
Yeah.
Got to get on 25. But, hey ho. Andrew needs to go home now. See if he can get home and see something.
No, it finishes at 19:52.
He can get home in an hour.
It finishes at 19:52.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
Sorry.
It's alright, no your fault.
What it is,
No, it's not.
everything's my fault.
If you say so.
You normally tell me it is.
I don't. Right, say goodbye to the boys and girls.
Goodbye.
Wave to the boys and girls. Bye. Nearly 7:15, and I'm on the way home. The sun hasn't set yet anyway, so the chances of me seeing a lunar eclipse tonight would have been minimal. I don't think it's a full eclipse for us anyway. I'm not actually sure which direction the moon is in, but it's still quite bright, as you can as you can see if you're watching this, or if you're just listening to this, because I listen to YouTube videos in the car all the time. So if you're just listening to this, maybe you haven't actually seen this. Maybe you've never seen my face. I don't know. Anyway, just a random thought for you. As I was driving home, I saw a man walking along the road with a telescope. And as I was coming down Garlic Lane, just a few minutes from home, the whole of the lane was racked up with cars and people looking out, presumably at the eclipse. But I'm buggered if I could see the moon, and I certainly can't see it from the garden, and it's over now anyway. So, yay, another opportunity missed by yours truly. Anyway, there you go. That was my Sunday. I am going to finish editing this video, and then I'm probably going to go and boil my head in a vat of acid or something. Everyone needs a hobby, right? Thanks for watching this episode of Total Ramblings. Bye bye.